Hi, I'm Tim from Scoop. We recently migrated our data management from cloud to the UNAS. There's loads of resources online offering basic overviews and UNAS setup. However, in this video, we'd like to show you how and why we chose to move from cloud storage to the UNAS for our business. Let's start with why. Firstly, as a Ubiquiti distributor, we really like their products. We're already using Ubiquiti's network infrastructure throughout our own networks. Now that the UNAS product has matured into a full-blown product line, it was the perfect excuse to see if we could use it to add value for us. Also, it gives us the opportunity to put our money where our mouth is. Secondly, while cloud storage is extremely convenient and generally works well, it does come at a premium cost. Add to this a larger user base, and in our case, we are paying for licenses for users who barely utilize the storage features. There's also no way to accurately predict year-on-year price increases. Thirdly, we have more control over our data. Your cloud provider can change their terms and conditions at any point to use your data as they see fit. As a business, it's in our best interest to keep things private. Right, let's talk about our setup. Scoop consists of 3 branches or sites. Each is in a different city with our head office in Cape Town. For our requirements, we chose the UNAS Pro. This provides more than ample storage across 4 8TB Ubiquiti drives using RAID 10, giving us fast performance and protection resilience should a drive fail. In addition, we've added another 2 8TB drives in a separate storage pool for our resource-intensive video editing projects. We've done this to eliminate any risk of interference with our critical business data. Once we had the bare bones setup for the project, we had to think about how we could achieve a cloud-like experience for our user base. The vast majority of staff work in office, but we also have the occasional work from home scenario. Most users would have to connect to a central UNAS to access shared drives. Since we already rely on UniFi gateways at each branch, we use UniFi's built-in SiteMagic feature to create secure site-to-site mesh VPNs. SiteMagic uses WireGuard for tunneling and OSPF for routing, which are both very resilient protocols. If we lose primary WAN connection at any of our sites, there's virtually no downtime between failover. WireGuard performance between branches is sufficient for our needs, which is at 80 megabits per second over 100 to 150 megabits per second WAN connections. For the occasional remote users, UniFi Identity allows us to provide a WireGuard VPN. It's super easy to configure and intuitive enough for just about any end user to onboard themselves through the endpoint app. With all remote connectivity sorted, our next task was to ensure we had failure tolerance. We deployed another UNAS at each branch so we could provide local storage for certain files on each LAN. If the internet should completely fail on any of the sites, this allows staff to continue running critical operations uninterrupted. The UNAS allows you to create backup tasks to other UNASs or cloud storage providers. Once we import the data, we'd be able to back up everything onto an identical setup at another branch. So even if our headquarter UNAS had to fail, we'd still have access to our data. Okay, with that done, what next? The time had come to migrate all of our data from the cloud provider to our own central UNAS. We did this by leveraging rclone, which the UNAS already uses for its backup feature. rclone is like the Swiss Army knife for cloud storage, so it's possible to bring data across from a number of providers. The downside is that Ubiquiti doesn't provide access to all of rclone's features in the GUI. The good news is that you can access it via SSH. Once we created our new drives on the UNAS, we just had to point rclone on the UNAS to our cloud storage drives to bring the data in. rclone can be configured for multi-threading on the UNAS, which makes transfer quicker. However, be aware that this can significantly impact the CPU. In our case, we just used the default settings and waited for everything to transfer. Once the data was there, the next step was to create backup tasks for each drive. We did them individually since they're easier to isolate should we ever have issues with partial backups or failures. The initial backups did take some time, but now that everything is there, future backups only update changes to files during fixed schedules outside of working hours. And then, finally, to onboard the users, we once again turned to UniFi Identity. We created all the users with their respective permissions. Then each received an email to activate their account and auto-mount their shares onto their desktop machines. And this is all possible via the endpoint app. In addition, users also have access via the browser so they can use whichever system suits them best. And there you have it. We've achieved a completely secure and resilient file storage system for our business. Initially, we thought the UNAS wouldn't be sophisticated enough for our needs, but since using the system on a daily basis, it's working well, and we've had almost no complaints from our users about the experience. We also find that it's much faster than traditional cloud storage, since data doesn't need to be synced constantly. The hardware cost for this setup will be reclaimed very quickly, and we've said goodbye to unpredictable price hikes, as well as those data privacy concerns that come with third-party services. There are definitely limitations in a few areas which you're willing to live with right now, but we're confident that the system will only get better with time. We actually look forward to shooting a follow-up video sometime in the future where we can really share more in-depth view on our experiences. So please like and subscribe to our channel if you want to see it when it comes. For now, let us know if you have any questions, found this inspiring, or maybe you just want to tell us you think we're crazy for doing this. Either way, thank you for watching. I'm Tim from Scoop.